the bureaucracy in India is one which is very steely, but is wonderfully networked to know who's doing what. It is they who run the system for themselves. They know who's the officer, who's young, who's doing brilliantly well in a remote corner of India where he is running the district administration. They equally know who among the newcomers is creating trouble for himself. So at no point in time I think you should have a feeling that you're too far away from Delhi and therefore you can do what you want. No, the system is damn efficient in keeping an eye on each one of you all. Just as political parties keep an eye on each one of us political workers. But more than the political parties, the bureaucracy is very efficient to keep meticulous record of every year of what you do and what you don't and what you do which are not supposed to be done. So whilst ethical practices are something which I'll appeal, saying you should adopt ethical ways of doing things, be honest, be good in your service, and integrity is of high value, which Ambassador mentioned. But we should be clear that CCTV cameras are not in the common man's streets. It's even within the hallways of bureaucracies. So please do not for a moment fall for any temptation. You're all proud officers of a glorious service. India's bureaucracy is one of the finest in the world. We are very sparingly provided for, because I see when I go abroad a delegation where we would sit to have a bilateral meeting. India goes with frugal, absolutely shoestring budget in the sense of number of people who come, the domain experts who sit with the minister to negotiate. Whereas let us say a Chinese or an American or any one of the Western G7 countries, the top 7 countries, they would have at least 30-35 people. At the table with the minister, let us say 4, behind them 10, even behind them and the 20, all helping with papers and that little additional value for your negotiation. So the bureaucracy there is awash. You don't have a dearth of people, whereas Indian bureaucracy is very frugal. You accompany yourself with about 3 or 4 top bureaucrats to talk, and they will be absolutely endowed with all the facts. They're backed with data, they're backed with institutional memory, and therefore your teams perform as much as anybody else. Win or lose, it's okay. So what it calls for is absolute being in control of your job. Make your teams work for you, and be sure that at any point in time you are asked to speak. Nowadays, in fact I'm sure till before 2014, a regular Prime Minister level interface with a district level officer was never thought of. Prime Minister Modi brought that in. Pragati is a program which Prime Minister sits and does with the district administration. So a junior level officer who's just posted in a district directly speaks with the Prime Minister about what he's doing in his district and how he's taking his district forward. So you're not very cut off from the headquarters. You're in fact talking and negotiating with the Prime Minister, saying, my district needs this, this is where my district is going, I'm unable to do or I'm able to do. So today, a bureaucrat who gets clearance and gets into the service, has his first posting, is going to be engaging with the Prime Minister directly, once in a month. Of course, there's a random selection done, but you're engaging with the Prime Minister directly. Technology has enabled that. So you should be tech savvy, you should have your district well endowed, and if you're posted in the foreign service, you have to do as much and more, because you're the only flag holder there. An entire team will have to work, whether it is matters related to trade, whether it is matters related to strategic affairs, whether it is defense. Just imagine the scope of operation. So I would think what is important for you is, as much as you are a master of so many things, you should have an area specialization. Because as ministers, where we are filling up the annual records of your performance, question is asked about which area is this person specializing in and where do you think he'll be better deployed. Most often I find it very difficult, because alright, you're jack of all trades, but I can't see that one trait which is so outstanding in you that I can put you, yes, nothing better than this person for, let us say, trade analysis or economy or finance or social welfare programs. Specialization is a very critical thing even after you get into the service. It's not the end all. You've gotten in, yes, you've gotten in. Don't think that this is the story's end and you are there for life. Don't be there for life as a burden for the Indian taxpayer. You're there for life to make a difference to the taxpayer.